Hi, I'm Meg. I want to become an artist, and that's why I'm studying at an art college. By the way, I'm the best student there, but recently my life took a sharp turn. Meg, Christina is coming over for dinner tonight. Christina was Dad's girlfriend. Mom had died a long time ago, and I wasn't against their relationship. Oh, had the delivery guy arrived? Food from a restaurant? Are we celebrating something? Well, you could say that. That was weird. Dad looked worried. After a while, the doorbell rang. Christina came with some girl, and behind them was Michael? I didn't understand what was going on. Hi, Meg. This is my daughter, Gia, and you've already met Michael. Of course. Michael was my classmate. He seemed like a normal guy, unlike his sister. What a look. You could put a dog on that chain. I was in for a surprise at dinner. Meg, we have news for you. Christine and I have decided to live together. She's going to move in here with Michael and Gia. Are you happy? You will have a brother and a sister. Yes, I'm over the moon. What the? I didn't mind living with Michael, but that wild girl seemed like she didn't care about anything. She put on headphones and scrolled through the phone. Okay, we would see. A week later, I realized that my intuition had been right. Michael didn't bother me much, but Gia was insufferable. I tried to prepare for school, but she would turn on heavy metal on full blast. She would come home in the early hours and not even try to be quiet as she walked up the stairs. It was a nightmare. I decided to talk to her. Gia, could you be a little quieter? No, I can't draw because of your music. I'm trying to study. So what? You're acting like a spoiled queen. Don't forget that this is my home too. Have some decency. She just ignored me. Ugh, she was so infuriating. On the way to college, I was thinking about my new life and completely forgot to hurry up. Meg, hurry up. We're waiting for you. That's right, we were going to the museum. Michael got on the bus with me and told me jokes all the way there. It seemed to piss Rick off. You should have seen the way he was staring at Michael. Rick was a bully, and everyone knew he had been pining for me for a long time. In the museum, we went from hall to hall and looked at the paintings. Meg, look! It's painting of Jacques Dubois, a French impressionist. Such gentle brushstrokes. And this combination of colors is a daub. Nothing interesting here. And these are cubists. My 5-year-old brother draws better than this. To be honest, Rick disappointed me. He didn't know anything about art. Criticizing is easy. Could you draw like that, eh? I thought Rick would be embarrassed, but he just smiled. Come to the backyard of the museum when you get bored here. I wondered what he was up to. We could barely wait for the tour to end and immediately rushed outside once it was over. Rick looked around, took out several spray cans from his bag, and started to paint graffiti on the wall. At first, we didn't understand what was going on, but then one guy screamed, "Wait, that's Meg!" It was. Rick had drawn my portrait. It was so cool I couldn't resist. Took a spray can and painted a beautiful background around it. Meg, this isn't allowed. You'll both get in trouble. Come on, what's going to happen? We're decorating the wall, not destroying it. Soon, we were done. The result looked awesome. I smiled at Rick, but then a police car suddenly appeared. Someone had seen the graffiti being painted in the yard and called the cops. Everyone scattered. Over here! He pulled my arm and we ran into some kind of alley. We must have blended into the wall because we were both smeared with paint all over. The cops stayed in the yard for a while before leaving. We dodged a bullet. We almost got busted. Thanks for saving me, Rick. Don't thank me. I often run away from the cops and know the alleys well. I came home full of adrenaline. I had to wash off the traces of the crime. I went into my room and almost fell. All my paintings were ruined. Someone had smeared black paint all over them. I sat down on the floor and grabbed my head. Who could have done that? And then I realized, Gia, that jerk, she must have decided to take revenge on me. It meant war. Luckily, my quote-unquote little sister was not at home. She would be in for quite a surprise. I trashed her room, tore down her ugly posters from the walls as well as the curtains. Eventually, I felt better. Well, how was your day? We went on a museum tour. How was it? Very cool. I told Meg all about great artists. It was probably useful. Many people will be looking at your paintings in museums one day. Strangely enough, Gia was silent and just picked at our food. Had she not seen the mess in her room yet? No, she looked really upset. I want to tell you something. That was it. She would snitch to our parents. Well, let her. It was all her fault. If she ratted me out, I would also tell them everything about my ruined paintings. I have applied to Michael's college and will be studying with him. What? Just what I needed. Putting up with her antics in college. Everyone was shocked, especially Michael. Sweetie, but why didn't you tell us anything? I had my reasons. She must have decided to turn my life at college into living hell. I got up and went to my room without asking for permission. Another week of living with my hellish stepsister passed, and she infuriated me more by the day. All the teachers praised her. What upset me the most was she's really talented. She easily grasped what we had been studying for months. You are free now. Don't forget that a final review of your works is coming up. Try to impress me and the commission. Everyone started covering their paintings. I noticed that Gia's work looked incredible. I couldn't let her become top of the class. What could I do? I saw Rick in the college yard. Of course he would help me. Rick, hello, got a minute? I'm always free for you. Listen, I have a problem. I didn't have time to put the finishing touches to my work. Could you help me? Yes, what do you need? I told him my plan, and Rick agreed. At night, we sneaked into college, and Rick picked the lock of the classroom. Wow, is this legal? Of course not, but we won't tell anyone. You are the best. Go finish it. I'll keep watch. I found Gia's work using a flashlight, took off the cover, and got the paints out of my bag. I would show my sister I was better than her. Of course, as an artist, I was sorry to ruin a really great work, but only the strongest arrive in this world, right? On the day of the viewing, I was calm, but everyone else was very worried, and even Gia couldn't keep her eternal poker face up when Mr. Fincher and the members of the commission walked into the studio. Let's see what you've got. He removed the covers from the canvases one by one, and the members of the commission wrote something on their papers. Then it was Gia's turn. What's this? It seems Gia didn't do a very good job, doesn't it, Mr. Fincher? This is a nightmare. This is a daub, not a painting. It seems someone has ruined it. She looked at me, but I just smiled sweetly. Now the commission would see my work. Fincher tore off the cover and turned white. Is something wrong, Mr. Fincher? I came up to the canvas and almost screamed. My painting was ruined as well. But how is that possible? We need to confer. It's all your fault. You've ruined my painting. Calm down. I don't know what you're talking about. My painting is also ruined. How could she still pretend that she had nothing to do with it? I clenched my fists and wanted to tell her everything I thought of her, but the commission came back. We've discussed everything and decided that Michael is the best student among you this year. Gia, Meg, we're disappointed in you. I was so upset I burst out crying and ran out into the yard. Michael ran after me looking guilty. Meg, wait, everyone could see that your painting was cooler than mine. You should have been praised, not me. Gia's terrible. She set it all up. She's been getting me into trouble since we were kids, and now she's targeting you as well. I tried to calm down, and we went home for dinner, but I couldn't keep calm for long because Dad started telling me off. The dean called and said that your painting was the worst at the viewing. How could you let that happen? Michael, congratulations, you did a great job. What? My painting was the best until Gia ruined it. Don't lie. Gia snuck into the classroom at night and ruined my work. Actually, my work was damaged as well. You did it yourself so that no one would suspect you. Wait, Meg, I can confirm that my daughter didn't go anywhere last night. Of course you're protecting your daughter. Screw all of you. I ran out into the street shaking with rage. They teamed up to drive me out of the house. All right, we would see who got the last laugh. At the cafe, I called Rick and asked him to meet me. He promised to come as soon as possible. He seemed a bit scared when he saw how upset I looked. Hello, what happened? Have you been crying? Rick, help me. Gia wants to ruin my life at home and in college. I have to think of something. I can't stand it any longer. No, Meg, I don't want to take part in such things anymore. You said you liked me. I did, until you started acting so mean. He didn't listen to me anymore and left. Well, okay, I would think of something myself. The next day, things got even worse. I was called to the dean's office. He was holding a piece of paper in his hands. Meg, a complaint has been filed against you. I'm sorry, but you're a candidate for expulsion. What complaint? What did I do? You ruined other students' canvases. Oh, did Gia say that? Don't trust her, she wants to set me up. They wanted to stay anonymous. There was some noise outside. The dean sprang up from his seat and ran to the window. While he was standing there, I quickly took a picture of the complaint and sat down. It seems there was an accident on the road. People these days don't know how to drive. You can leave, Meg. You're on probation. I sat down in the hallway and looked at the photo of the complaint. Gia made me look like a monster, but wait, what? There was a signature at the bottom. Michael's signature. Had he really set me up? He made Gia and I suspect each other. I had to hurry home and get to the bottom of it. I came into his room and started looking for something that would help prove his guilt, but I couldn't find anything. I was getting desperate when I saw a backpack lying by the door. Gotcha. Inside were gloves smeared with black paint. That scum. I'd actually believed he was a sweet guy. Damn, I had to talk to Gia. What are you doing here? She stood at the threshold of the room with a stony face. It was Michael. What about him? He was the one who tried to turn us against each other. I told Gia everything and showed her the gloves and the photo of the complaint. My brother has always envied those more talented than him. She told me what Michael had done so that she wouldn't be accepted into college last year. He told the admissions committee that I was passing off other people's paintings as my own. He even switched my brushes for varnished ones on the day of the exam. Wow, those don't work. Exactly. This year, I didn't tell anyone I was applying to college, so he couldn't stop me. We both laughed when we remembered Michael's face when Gia told us everything at dinner. By the way, she turned out to be a great girl. I helped her fix and hang up the posters again and apologized, and she gave me an expensive solvent for my paintings. We started hanging out together and ignoring Michael at college. One day, we were all working in a studio when the dean came in with some serious guy and said that it was Peter Swayze. Wow, a famous artist. His paints were exhibited in Paris. I wonder what he was doing there. I've decided to find a young and capable apprentice. So, I've prepared a small test for you. Of course, Michael raised his hand. By the way, Michael is our best student. Good, we have the first candidate. He started looking at our sketches from the last lesson and chose one. Not bad. And who is the author? This is my sketch. Gia. She has a confident hand. We'll see what you're capable of. And whose work is that? He pointed to the wall. The paintings from the previous year's exhibition were hanging on it. Meg painted that landscape, but I wouldn't recommend her. She's on probation. Not the best choice. In my opinion, this is a work done by a professional. Meg will be the third candidate. Wow. I opened my mouth in surprise. Are you sure? The artist gave the dean such a look that he quickly nodded. Well, I guess geniuses can immediately feel the potential. Meg, you're coming too. They put us in a fancy car and brought us to Peter Swayze's studio. It was so cool there. He put 3 canvases and put fruits, berries, and a jug in front of us. The one to draw the best still life will become my student. Good luck! Gia winked at me and whispered that we absolutely had to beat Michael. Still lifes are his weak point. Our brother was so nervous. The brush in his hands was shaking. Could I have more light? I can't see anything. There's enough light. Right, Meg? The paints aren't very good. I can't work like this. In my opinion, a real artist can create a masterpiece using any material. Come on, little Mikey. We soon finished, and Peter Swayze looked at our works. He was examining each brushstroke so carefully. While everything is clear here, the shadows are all wrong, the transitions are rough. He was talking about Michael's work. Shame on you, Michael. It's worse than high schoolers drawing. And these 2 paintings are above all praise. You 2 are really talented. Girls, you will have to decide who will become my student yourselves. I didn't even think about it. I just stepped forward and said I wasn't as good as Gia. You have a lot more talent, Gia. You haven't studied for long, but you draw like a professional. You deserve this, sis. We hugged. Michael turned green with anger and ran out of the studio, almost knocking down. What? Rick? What was he doing there? Oh, Rick! Hello, nephew! How have you been? Wow, was Rick Peter Swayze's nephew? Thank you, Uncle. I'm fine. Hi, girls. Rick was the one who told me to look for an apprentice at your college. At first I offered to teach him, but he doesn't like classical paintings at all. Can you imagine? He prefers drawing graffiti. I realized how easy it was to be wrong about people. Everything before that was fake. Gia used to infuriate me, but then we became best friends and real sisters. During the day she studied with me, and in the evening she worked in the studio with Rick's uncle. She had absolutely no time and energy left for partying or playing loud music. Rick and I made up. He realized that I had done something stupid and forgave me. He even asked me out on a date. At first, Dad was against it because Rick's reputation wasn't great, but Gia and Christina supported me. She turned out to be very nice. I finally accepted her. We could chat for hours about all sorts of girly stuff. Michael didn't stay the best student for long. No tricks will help you if you lack talent. Just imagine. He stole a painting from his classmate and tried to pass it off as his own. But he was quickly found out and made the first candidate for expulsion. Gia and I stubbornly ignore him. Do you think he will be able to become a better person? Tell us in the comments down below. Hey squad! Like to see your life in comics? Stories that are so embarrassing that even friends do not know about them. Don't say you don't have such ones. They belong on the Anon Please channel. Check it out! Click here!